We are recording. Hi.
Welcome back. Unleashed Defiance with Ashley and Charlie. We have had a little bit of a hiatus, or should I say downtime.
hmm
There was something really icky in the collective, and which kind of brought us all down into density and into the gravity and into the duality, and us being these beautiful multidimensional beings that are here to help you process. We got kind of affected by it. Ashley ended up with a head cold, and I ended up with my own kind of trauma.
Yes. Yes.
But we're
um,
back, and today we are talking about just do you.
I love it. Like where to begin? um, yeah. Charlie and I had talked about, the head cold and what was going on and then her thing. And especially for me, I was noticing other people having colds or what flu, I don't know. What's the other thing? Sinus infection. I feel like some people are having those now. Um, and there has been, for me, when I'm tapping into stuff, I'm like, okay, I obviously know I have this cold. I obviously know that my body has to release some, I'm hearing tension.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of mental stuff too. And there were some times where I had to do energy work and I'm pulling the stuff and I'm also working on my hips and sacral and then my feet. Um, and I just feel like with the hips and the sacral, there are certain like addictive tendencies or things that we feel like we need to keep doing. And with having a cold, we have to, like, our body's like, no, stop, shut down for a minute and just rest and relax. And a lot of us are go, 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 and we don't know how to just stop and relax.
Yeah, that is true. And then, but the funniest thing is when you really need to relax, this is when you will get sick if you've been pushing yourself and pushing yourself and pushing yourself. Your body will give in. You might fall down, break a leg. You know, the universe always manages to come in and try bring you back to center. But also, don't forget, like especially like you say, you were the hip, the leg, and the sacral. That's all fear of moving forward.
And we're in a big time now where there's a lot of changes happening. I see it within myself, within you, other people I'm around, clients. Like, we're ready to take bigger leaps. And last night I was, just kind of sitting there, and taking in nature and, then like looking within myself and being like, okay, what's me, what's not me, what's outside. And a lot of people like want more. And it's not like, I want this and I want that and I need to get new shoes and I need this. It's like more
No,
heart based. Like you want juicier, better, stronger connections and less stress and less people dictate. I literally, I'm seeing someone right now, and in their energy they just see all these people coming at
people
them with different, you should
wants
do
and
this or
needs
do
to do
that.
this. Yeah, yeah. No, there's a lot of
Yeah.
that going on at the moment as well. Like also since coming out of COVID, a lot of people have been wanting more now. It's been the return to the offices and people are getting back into the rat race and stuff like that. So there is a big discord is the word that's coming
Mm.
um currently with people between their head and their heart. Like, there's the practicality. Yes, we have to have jobs, we have to, pay bills and stuff. But then, you know, being the multidimensional beings, we know that abundance is there and ready to serve us the minute we tap into who we are, into our real, the I am that I am, and the soul and the spirit, and start letting your energy serve you. Um, then that more that you want, because it just shows up. The experiences that you're looking to have present themselves, but it's the awakening. So there's a lot of people, I mean, we've already gone through all of this, but there are a lot of people that are currently going through the awakening, which is the collective that you're tapping into. The people that are wanting more, that are, like I call them freedom seekers, because they're seeking freedom. And it's freedom
Mm.
from themselves, from their emotions, from lack and scarcity, freedom. They want freedom of time, freedom of choice, but unfortunately they're still stuck in the collective mentality of you have to work hard, you have to have a job, and what I call the bullshit rules.
Very much so. I like that you label it that. Yeah. Yeah. I I think that, yeah, we're definitely in a time and a place where, like, none of the stuff that oh God, mainstream, I don't want to say none of this stuff, but the way mainstream presents certain things, or, you know, for instance, like consumerism, or what you should do or wear or think or be like during, I don't know, a certain time in your life or a certain season, like I'm just gonna say, like, winter time, there's the holidays and everything, and like consume, consume, buy, 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 buy. And then look at everyone's freaking crashed now because of
Oh
all of
yeah, oh
the
no, no,
holiday shit. It's, I didn't
it's
even,
bad.
I mean, I thought about it, but like now it's really resonating with me of like, wow, like look at the different like timelines and the way time is, and like how stress levels are, and then you crash and then stress, like, and I remember there was so much going on during holiday seasons in my
Oh
family
yeah.
years ago that some people were just like, "Can we have a break?" And the elders were like, "No, because this is how things are." And we're like, "But no."
But holiday season is stressful because it's like you got to get presents, and and people get themselves into a lot of debt over Christmas and New Year,
Mhm.
which causes a lot of stress and causes a lot of anxiety. And then now we've got Valentine's Day coming up as well. So then there's more pressure because you've got to be you have to have a relationship and or be in this perfect couple or whatever, what you're
I
doing.
just wanna roll my eyes at that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you just gotta be you, and you gotta do how it is for you, you know? I'm My Valentine's Day and my holidays have just been regular days to me. Well, there's a
Yeah.
little bit of, like, magic and stuff like that, but, like, literally on Christmas, I was just at home. It was another day. I was watching YouTube, I was doing art, I'm over here laughing and, like,
No,
the
no, no,
rabbits
I was
hopping
doing
around.
the exact same. Like, also, I've got kids, but I don't do Christmas. I don't do a Christmas tree. I don't do Christmas decorations. Because I spoil them so much throughout the year that I don't do Christmas because I don't want them to start buying into it. But they've got a Maltese family and stuff, so they do go and spend and have like a Christmas event and stuff like that with their dad. But in my house, there's no Christmas because every day is Christmas.
Right? I understand that, yeah. And also, I like I told you today, I did a session for someone on their animals, and their children ended up, and the whole family dynamic ended up popping up. Like, this is what happens with me because I work so closely with like family dynamics within myself. And then, now this is just like I've just reached that certain point where this is where a lot of my work, what it like centers around the family dynamics. And it's like, I just look at certain families, and there are certain children, or this approach of like, well, it's Christmas time and I should have a million gifts. And, kids are just I'm sorry, but I've looked at it in my own family or other people where the kids are like barely considering a gift they just opened. And then they're like, what's the next one? What's the next one? Oh, that's all I have. They have more than I do. Ah. But adults also sometimes, we're like that. We just don't, sometimes we have better coping mechanisms than children. We just kind of play things
Oh, we
out a little
definitely have
differently,
we
right?
definitely have better coping mechanisms than children. But I mean, also being a child and having that childlike wonder and in that constant state of joy and grace. I mean, don't you miss that?
I do. I have bits of it and everything, and it's so fun to get that back. And um this is definitely part of like what we wanted to we wanted to talk about today. Like choosing yourself, remembering like who you are, not being connected to those like dense energies, just knowing what's you and all of that. And it's really nice like being around kids or animals when they're just in that like whimsy and folly and like everything's great. Oh my goodness. I found a rock on the ground and it's shaped like my favorite shape. A circle. Whoa. Like just simple things like that. It's really rad. And, I have my artwork right here because we're at my desk and I'm just like, just sitting here and being like, oh, what color is going to come up next? And what am I going to create? Like, it's just beauty and joy and being in the moment. And I do wonder what this piece will turn out as, but it's, I don't know, back to being a kid, just being in the moment and just being like every step can be a glorious moment. Um, Even in the hard times. I know you and I
Yeah.
both are like, this was a difficult, shitty moment in my life. What does it mean? What did it bring like my attention to? What can I do more of? And I know before our conversation, the recorded conversation now, we were talking about trusting more.
Yes, that's like even in the like you're saying, like even in the midst of the difficult situations and in the density and in those raw emotions and when you feel like you like literally you don't know where to turn, like and you feel like the universe and everybody has just cut you off, that is when you have to go inside and just do you because you are powerful and you can transcend any situation you are in by just going within, looking at it, because I call it the dragon. When the dragon comes, it's there to scorch the earth, but it's also there to bring up these old, uncomfortable, sticky emotions that we have that are stuck in the body, these old belief systems, because we are moving into the new energy is here. And currently at the moment, there's us way showers who have are now going into realization, and then we've got the other people that are still stuck in the collective into the collective energy, and some people are going to wake up and they're going to come into the new energy, but then there's still people that are still stuck in the old energy, and this is where it becomes difficult for us, like when we go through these moments where we start getting sick and we start feeling the collective energy. But this is why it's important to go within and then rise above it into the new energy, into a new paradigm, into a new way of being. And the only way you can access that is by going within. Just do
So
you.
good.
And a lot of people don't even know what they like. They've been
Yeah.
so used to being a chameleon and trying to fit in, trying to bend themselves like a pretzel to you impress people, impress their parents, and they're chameleon. They just blend into every situation and they don't really know who they are. But then, unfortunately, sometimes the universe does come up and shape their whole world until they actually like shocked into the awakening process. And that's what you said earlier. So many people are wanting more, which are the people that are going through the awakening now, because there are a lot of people who are quite happy with their status quo and quite happy getting that paycheck and going to work and killing themselves and, well, not like literally, but like killing themselves for a wage at the end of the day, not being able to spend time with their families. Some people are really enjoying that, but then there's those that are waking up and who are wanting more, who are questioning, but they're looking outside of themselves. They will start following this guru, that guru. They'll start doing Kundalini yoga at 4 a.m. or, you know, don't worry, I'm a Kundalini yoga instructor, but, and I only know this because of my own journey, what I went through my awakening. But it wasn't until like the last 4 years ago when I really started going within and I stopped with all like following all these people and looking for the next excuse or escapism and really just started discovering myself and what I wanted. Was I able to really get out and get into these new energies? And I still sometimes get sucked back into the density and into the gravity because I'm picking stuff on the collective, which I still have remnants or aspects of it, which the dragon comes in and it's like, okay, no, we got to
Yeah.
burn this shit down and release it, let it go. Let your call in your energy. Let your energy serve you. And
You
just
know, and nothing against people that want to wake up at however early and do a practice, but is it like you're forcing it because you think that that's what you should be doing and that's what's going to get you spiritual enlightenment? Or are you doing it because it really, truly, wholly makes you feel good? And like,
yeah,
that's why I was like, ugh, because there are a lot of people that are like, you should wake up at 5 a.m. and do this and that. And
I
there are
mean
people that,
exactly. I mean, but that's also we were talking about this the other day. That's like spiritual bypassing as well. It's it's. I mean, I love my yoga practice. I really do, but I
Mhm.
don't get up at 4 a.m. every morning anymore because I realized a long time ago that it was bullshit. I don't. I mean, but I still wake up. I still like to do my movements. But I don't wake
Yeah,
up every morning. But, I do like to move my body because doing my yoga practice brings me into my body. Because when I'm sleeping, and I'm sure you're the same as well, we all gallivanting across galaxies and different realms and still doing our work. I mean, we can wake
yeah.
up exhausted the next day, battered and bruised, and we don't even know how we got the bruises.
I've had cuts before. Yeah. And some people tell me stuff like that, and I'm like, you could have, really like scratched yourself, or something could have happened. And they're like, huh? Most people would think you're nuts telling me these things. And I'm like, this is the reality. We're not taught about this type of multi-dimension soul. We're just taught from strict, like, day one, like, it's only this, the physical,
Yeah.
and that's not the case because, um, just to touch upon random things, even with, things that are going on in your body and doctors just don't know what's happening. For me, that's when I started to get into energy healing and taking charge and like doing it all on my own because I was like,
Yeah.
I understand it's not like something physical within my body. It's the energy, and I'm feeling part of the physical manifestation that could be something really, really physical and intense and possible surgery and all that, and I'm not gonna let it get to it. I even
Yeah.
had a doctor say to me, my own doctor years ago, sometimes She's like, "We just things just happen and we don't know why and where they're coming from, and then they just go away." Or, and I'm like, "There's something up with my energy and what have you." And I'm like, and she just validated it for me unbeknownst to herself. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
I don't know if I just kind of spun off, but again, I have this head
No,
cold, so I'm kind of like floaty, but at the same
but
time, I'm channeling it in the energy. So I'm like,
but
woo.
yeah, but then you're actually 100% spot on there because also a lot of times illness will manifest as a way for us to go within because there's an imbalance in the body, like that dis-ease,
Mm,
disease, dis-ease.
mhm,
There's something imbalanced in the body, and that is an invitation for you to go within and look, because you do have the body is a freaking wonderful freaking system and it literally can heal itself.
mhm,
And
mhm,
it's how you talk to your body and we came here for to have this embodied experience in this planet, and it does mean loving yourself, but it's not like in a vain way. But you got to love your body, and you got to talk to your body. Your body has got a divine knowledge built inside as well. It can lead you in the right direction if you start asking it the right questions. It's here to serve you. It can rebalance itself, provided that you go within and you start looking at why are these things coming up? Why is this here? What is in me? What is the dragon trying to show me with this illness or this disease?
yes. And if I may, I've also connected to a lot of people that will also they'll start to get something going on with their body, and then they're like freaking out, and then they go to a doctor for tests and they're fine, but I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" Well, my dad died of a heart attack, and then I started to get weird heart stuff and whatever. And, oh, when did this happen? Oh, it was actually around his, death anniversary. Ugh, your grief, dad, the connection, like, so that's just one little thing I wanted to touch on. There's been other instances where there are things
Uh,
similar to that too,
you
but
know,
like we have to look at these things.
exactly. And grief is stored in the lungs.
Yes,
And also there is such a thing as broken heart syndrome.
very much so. Yes.
And when you lose someone, like the loss can cause physical ailments. Literally, it can cause you to have this broken heart syndrome, which is like heart attacks and having sore hearts. Then also, grief can cause a lot of lung problems like COPD, asthma, bronchitis.
I actually thought I had asthma years ago, and I've like worked through a lot of that, and it's no longer, you know what I mean? I can't breathe right now because I feel like my nose is like stuff,
Did
but
you get a
no,
cold?
yeah. But I
You
wasn't gonna, because I do this work, I'm like, I'm not gonna go to a doctor and like be like, I need an inhaler, because I am just more aware, and I'm not gonna fall back on the medical industry when I have my own wisdom and my body has its own gorgeous
mm,
wisdom, and it's a communication and it's a relationship, and it's really beautiful and fantastic. Like,
uh,
I just see people freaking out about certain things, and then I'm over here like, no, I just have the cold. I just have this cold. It's nothing else.
uh, I do the same. It's like I listen to my body. I hardly ever go to the doctor. I've got a lot of herbs and stuff growing in my garden. I have like a little mini apothecary at home, and if something does come up, like this herb, golden tea, whatever it is, but
Mhm.
But then, like, when that's like when I start feeling sick, this is when I really start calling in my energy to serve me and start asking questions. Why is this illness here? First of all, is it mine? Because a lot of the times we're picking up stuff that are other people's, but sometimes you do just get a virus. But a lot of times it's because there's something processing and the body is getting rid of something that's been ready to release for quite some time.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're
And
going a bit off topic because we were speaking about just do you,
I know, but also
but this is
I
doing you, I
this
suppose.
is just do I mean, it could be just do you because it could be like, just it could be so I think maybe we're reaching a point of maybe like just doing you by listening to yourself. And if you're the type of person that is being like, you know, told by other people, go to a doctor, take medicine, do this. I'm not saying that that stuff is bad and don't ever see a doc. I love my medical professionals, but even some of my medical professionals are like, it's awesome that you know your body, you knew what to do. Like, I was coming down with something even a few weeks ago, and I was like, it feels like walking pneumonia. I know it's energetic, but for my body, I'm going to take vitamin C and zinc. And I told my medical professional, and he was like, that you do you. That sounds great for you. You know your body. And thank you, sir. Instead of him being like, no, you need this, 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 and let me write you this prescription. He was just honoring me
Yeah.
and respecting me. And I think that when we become more in tune with ourselves and who we are, I think it just happens that we find the people that also respect us in that sense, and they do it within themselves too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But we got to go out the house, Ash.
say that again.
We have to leave the house first to meet these people.
Very much so. Very much so.
No, I'm loving getting out of the house at the moment. But it is true because when when you do go into the awareness of you and start really going in and discovering what it is that makes you happy and sets your heart on fire, and you start releasing all that trauma that was stored in the body, and you start listening to yourself and your own body, it is a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful, beautiful thing because you know what you know. Your soul knows everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
The little
What was
humanness in us.
Yeah. I
That's
you know, it
balance.
You're making me remember something I randomly was discussing with someone, and it had to do with me knowing something in my whole entire being, and other people saying, "No, you need to do this, 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 and this." And this was back when I was a teenager in my 20s. And how do you say, like, no, I know that this is me, this is who I am. You guys are doing thing a whole different way than I am. I'm not gonna connect into the fear that you are. I'm not gonna connect to the game that this world wants you to play. It's all about me. And again, like you said, not in a selfish way. It's like, this is me. I'm connected to my whole mind, body, spirit, soul, all of me. Who am I? What do I like? How do I go about things? How do I react to this? Like, it's all different than what someone else would do. So it's the times when I was reacting and being like, to shut these people up, I'm going to be complacent and I'm just going to do this. And then I was like, what was I? No,
No. I mean, like
no.
bending yourself over into a pretzel.
And also that's certain those times were when like I fell on my ass or something didn't work out, because let's say you needed advice from an accountant and you went to this person that you're friend or whomever said you should go to because it works for them, but you had this weird feeling in your gut, like, but I don't know anyone else, but I'm still gonna try this. And then like the person was a complete asshole, or they messed with your finances, or something like that. Like
Oh
it just,
yeah. When you like, there's been so many times where I haven't listened to my gut and I've just landed up in chaos. Now, like, it's a non-negotiable for me. And if I have to get up and, like I say this again, if I have to get up and walk away from the table or walk away from the conversation, but I know what's right for me. I know when it's a yes for me, when it's a no for me.
yeah, yeah.
Because I'm done with all those situations. Because we're going into the beyond now. We're moving out of this collective energy into the new energies and going into the beyond and it's beautiful, it's amazing because it is just being true to you, knowing that you here and just by you being you, magical things happen.
I was gonna say anything is possible because
Oh,
you're not,
everything is possible.
yeah, you're not in that limited mindset, or like the way this world is like it's a certain structure, a certain way. And like we talked about with like money and a job, like I I've gone like out and about to just to like do an errand or just meet up with someone, and then like I receive money, I get things that I've been needing, or and um I think when our mind and our hearts are structured in a certain way, it's just none of that magic and the flourishment can happen because you're just in that. I don't,
Mm.
I
Like
like
the way
to,
I
sometimes words don't come out of my mouth.
It's because the way that I look at the body is your heart is your most divine intelligence center. Then you've got your gut and then you've got your mind. So you need to be heart forward, mind backwards, like really get out of the mind because the mind is so limited. But whereas beyond the mind you have your consciousness, which is your awareness, your conscious awareness. And this is where we need to start creating from. We don't create from the mind because the mind is limited. We create from consciousness and soul. And like, I'm getting goosebumps because that is when the real magic happens. And like, I'm going to tell my story.
Yes. Yeah.
So last weekend, I was on the verge of eviction. I literally was packing my stuff. I had reached the point where I had tried every kind of solution. I had called in clients, nothing was working for me. And so I was packing up, going to be evicted from my house, couldn't find anywhere for the animals to live. I was in complete density, lack, separation. And then I just started allowing and reminding myself that the situation isn't actually mine and started allowing my energy to serve me. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a brand new client comes in. I stop packing and now I'm able to be safe and secure until I plan to move again in June. But I've managed to get on top of my debts, sort out my arrears that I had with my landlord because October, November, December, and January were very hard months, so I fell behind a little bit on the rent. But yes, I managed to avoid eviction on the day I was going to get evicted.
See that? Yeah. And energetics in the home is a real thing. I know people do feng shui. I have a friend who's like super into feng shui. That's like how she goes about things. And me, it's just kind of my own structure and my
Yeah.
own like what I'm picking up on, and I analyze it in my own way. And You and me both. We were just that one weekend where I was just like, I need to go through things and, put books in boxes, and I don't know why. And, I need to, like, I have boxes of books I need to donate and all of that. And it's
Yeah,
it's
well,
been very
I would
interesting. Like,
I would have never decluttered my house if I wasn't packing to move. Now my house is decluttered. I'm safe and secure for another couple more months.
yep.
But, being in that density, because remember, there were times I was in absolute tears.
Yeah.
It was a really, but it was also the dragon coming in to show me to really lean into trust and trust myself and trust my own energy and trust that everything's going to work out. And it was amazing how it did, but it was also the confirmation that yes, the minute you forget about the money and stuff, because the money it's just always going to be there to support you if you are in alignment with what you want
Hmm.
and what your soul wants for you. You got to just get out of the head and move beyond the mind into consciousness and into other realms and realities where magic is just beautiful.
I love it. No, you're so right. And like, what you're saying is like how I lived as a child, and even into my teenage years. And I think I might have mentioned it on other podcasts. Like, there were these little snippets where, like, I would be like, oh, this is happening. This is coming into my life. And I would be like completely trusting. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, great. And, there it would be. It would just show up, or just magical things would happen. Or I loved cleaning and rearranging my room. I would just get random bouts of like, I need to clean and go through things. And like, it made me feel good. And then it was like the energetic connections of me in my room. It was like letting stuff go and then like allowing more to flow.
Mhm. I know.
And
It's
yeah,
so important to let go. I hate the word surrender because if I feel that when you surrender, you're giving up your sovereignty and your
they're like,
power.
take me. Yeah.
And it's like if you it's all defeated and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I really like release and let go. Like sometimes you just need when you're going through the thick of things and we hold on to so much. But if you just release and let go, like imagine yourself like being on like a kite surfer and then the wind all of a sudden takes you and the only way you just got to release and let go and go back into the water. And this is what we need to do sometimes, especially when there is so much collective energy that is
So it's
sucking us
interesting,
out.
yeah, that you say that. The image that was put into my head for the people that drive around in the snow, it's like when you're slipping and sliding, there are some times where you want to freak out and like hold on to the wheel and move it a certain way. And there are times where like my mind wants to do that. And then something overtakes me. And then my body either literally like stops doing whatever with the wheel or the gas or the brakes. And magically things all just happen. And then I'm like, oh, that why did I freak out about that? Like, you have the moment of panic, like what is going to happen with my car and my body and like the snow, like what's going on. And even with like riptides, my
Mhm.
lovely one of my medical professionals, he told me about this. He's like, what happens when you're caught in a riptide? You just let go and you flow with that tide and everything's fine. Like, just enjoy yourself. Like, that's a pretty rad way of looking at it, dude. Thank you.
Well, yeah, well, because the thing is, if you fight a riptide, you're just going to get sucked in and drown, and you're going to tire yourself out.
Exactly. And then look at what we do, but we do that like when we're always trying to find a solution, or like there were some things that I wanted to get situated here, and I've talked to you about it, and there were times where I was really like freaked out about it and like, then it's just like, stop forcing it. Everything's just gonna, and even my rabbits are like, it's fine. And they're like super excited for how it's gonna get situated because it's even better than I can even imagine.
Oh yeah, it is. It always ends up being better than we can imagine. Like, and that's so now I just release and let go, and whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. I am that I am. I know that I know, and it's I'm loving this new energy because it is effortless. It is easy. It is grace. It is flow. It's here to serve me, shine out, serve others.
Yeah.
And this is what we need to look after ourselves first. And especially those people who have gone through so much and who've had a lot of trauma and who can't, who feel like they are just constantly drowning and finding it hard to come up for air. They've just got to let go and let their energy serve them and their soul take over. I know people say let God take over, but let your higher self take over
Yeah.
and start tapping into your uniqueness, your essence, your sparkly glow, and
Yeah.
have gratitude
Um,
for self, love for self.
yeah. And I was gonna say something. You touched up on something and it made me want to make a point about something else. Can't quite think about it now. What were you talking about? It's okay.
I don't even know what I was talking about. I was in the channel.
It's okay. Yeah. Oh, um, and even if you've been through stuff and you're going through stuff, it's always about connecting with yourself and whatnot, because even if there's people around you, they might not be the most
Have the best
supportive.
intention. Mm,
Exactly. So then you're still looking at outside sources and what have you. And yes, we need support. We need help by friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, whomever, those in your community. But it's like really like believing in yourself and being like, no, I have been through a lot and times are changing. And there can even be times when there are wonderful people in your life, but you're still having the imprints of the past
mhm.
and thinking that the bullshit is still occurring when it's not. I know I was there, and I've had a lot of distrust for people in many years, but it's really become apparent as I'm like on my own, doing my own thing and finding my own way in this world. And there have been many times where I've had to take a step back and be like, the people around you are fucking brilliant and amazing, and they just love you for you. They're not trying to weasel stuff out of you or siphon your energy. It's like, this is good. Like, snap out of it. Um, and I think it just always comes back to the self and believing in yourself. And if you don't like what's going on, there have
Change.
been times where I'm like, how are things going to change? And then an opportunity comes. I knew someone who knew someone, and all of a sudden they call me and they need help with something, and I'm like, whoa, game changer. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who you're going to connect with. You just never know. And
You
you
do.
have to be open to the
Well,
possibilities.
the human doesn't know, but the soul knows, and this
Exactly.
is it.
Exactly.
You gotta be open to the possibilities, and because everything is possible. Even the word impossible is I'm possible. And but it is, you gotta have faith and trust in yourself, in your being, in who you are. And don't be afraid to be who you are. I mean, I still have a block about going and doing my own videos. I never used to, but for some reason,
Hmm.
currently, I've got this aspect that I'm working on, but it is because I've gone through a hard time and I kind of disassociated. But now I'm slowly, well, I wouldn't say slowly, I'm stepping more back into, you know, fuck
Yeah.
it. I am loud. I am outrageous. I do swear. I'm a pirate. And,
That's no, keep going.
you know, I'm a
Yeah.
pirate of the new energy. I'm here to help people expand to, and in order to do that, I do need to be outrageous. I am going to say things that people aren't going to like and it's probably going to trigger them. But that is an invitation for you to look within inside yourself.
Yep, that's what my mischievous grin was about. Like,
Because it's not about me. It's and this is it. People got to realize that their reactions and responses are all also coming from something within inside themselves. And when you get into the new energy, you really don't respond or react to other people anymore because you realize it's got nothing to do with you. It's what they're going through and how they're
exactly.
perceiving things and how they're processing things and where are they on their journey and stuff. Now I don't even come across many people that, trigger me
I feel the same. Yeah.
because I don't allow it anymore. But I do know I
Yeah.
trigger other people. Big time.
Oh my gosh. Yes. There's a woman, um, and I'm always just trying to be nice and cordial and happy and, whatever. And even if I'm feeling miserable, sometimes just being out and about and talking to people, it's a game changer for me. And I'm like, yes. And there was a certain situation, and I deemed it a life lesson. And there was a woman that did not like that approach. And now, whenever I see her out and about in public, I just get a scowl. Even when I smile at her, it just pisses her off. She scowls, and I'm like, I see you have not changed in that mental state here, but like I still stand by me being like that was a life lesson. That person needed to go through it and understand it. And you didn't like it because you didn't like that you also would have had to change and do the work too. So she's just sticking with that grumpy mental state. And something that's been coming up a lot this week is I've always had to censor myself. And I even remember, like, I used to work in a pharmacy, and this man wanted to tell us all a joke. And he said, I can't say it in front of Ashley because she looks like a good little Christian girl. And I was like, okay, I get that. I'm approachable or I look kind or whatever he assumed. But like, I'm obviously not going to be swearing in a professional setting around children and families, but like, here, we're pretty candid. I'm going to swear. I'm going to say certain things people don't like. If I'm working with a certain person, obviously I'm going to meet them where they're at, and I'm not going to be telling them get over the bullshit when they're in the beginning stages of something and they need more gentleness and they need more of a support. And like, but yeah, like I am a little bit of a catalyst and I might trigger people as well. And I keep going back to when I was a kid and I would just say these fiery things that were the honest, blunt truths, and the
Truth.
people around me did not like it. So now when I go out and about and I'm saying these things, like I've noticed in time, I was afraid. I like did the work more. And then, there were times where I was blunt with a lot of anger or timid with a lot of anger and I still needed to say something or like I've had to go through the different ups and downs of this healing in myself to just be like, what? I can't censor myself anymore and I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. be how I'm going to be. Look how I'm going to look. I know some people might look at, I've had someone that hired me and I had done my hair and she went, "Oh, okay, you can judge me. This is me." And the kids thought I was really awesome because of my hair. She was very structured and rigid, and her kids were like, "Oh my gosh, who is this woman with this hair? And she's fun." And yeah, it's really interesting to just notice how certain people respond to you, and then you can just look in and see what's inside of them.
Oh
That
yeah,
makes
I
sense.
know.
I just went on a rant and a rampage.
I know, complete sense, complete and utter sense. Like I love reading people. People also don't understand that I read their auras. There's a lot of, I see the unseen. But like you, I'm also a catalyst, a disruptor, tyrant. Um, but then it's not my responsibility how my information lands on them.
That's something that I've been, again, it's a process. I've been working towards that. Even this morning, like I said to you with my client, there was a certain point in time where I had to be like, this isn't negative. It just is what it is. And they were very understanding. Whereas some people, I might say something and they might be like, "Oh my God, and
Yeah.
it's just very interesting how you could like say the same thing or what have you, and different people wherever they're at, they're going to take it in a different way or
Oh,
approach you in a different way.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Totally.
absolutely. Everybody sees everything from their own perspective. But I mean,
Exactly.
I do kind of like being a catalyst. I don't intentionally hurt people or anything else like that. But I mean, like I say, I've got zero tolerance for BS, and I say it how it is. It is what it is. Um, I don't beat around the bush. I'm quite direct, honest, a truth sayer.
I love that. Yes. And that's one of the things I love about you. And it was inspiring to me in the times where I felt like a tiny, sheltered, timid little mouse, you know? Yeah.
Ashley, you badass man. Well, let's call this a wrap for today
Indeed.
and remind people to just do you, no matter what that looks like, however shape, form, whatever color, it doesn't matter. Just be you, let your energy serve you, move beyond the bullshit, tap into
Yeah.
your heart,
Very
into
much
your
so.
potency, and live and joy, have fun. And join us in the new energies. If you'd like to work with either myself or Ashley, I promise you I don't bite. But I will make you make quantum leaps in your life and in your business. So, yes, our links are down below. Don't forget to thumbs up.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I always forget about um oh my
Yeah,
God, I was
but
just gonna, yeah,
that is a strategy that everybody else is doing. And you know what? It feels so inauthentic to me.
to be like, "Hey, you want to work with me? We do readings. We will empower you. We will give you the tools to empower yourself," right? Like
Exactly.
it
I
does.
don't do the work for you. I give you the tools so you do it for yourself. I got the key. I just unlocked the door.
That. Yeah, yeah, it all feels very, I've never really been into like I've had to work at this. I used to just want to hide because the world, I was like, "Oh God, people are insane and have big energies." And I am gentle and kind and just want like everyone to be in a safe space and chill. And but no, I've had to work on
Exactly, but
who I am, the sales pitch of it all,
yeah,
you know.
sensual sale. But this is it. Awakening is a personal journey, and there is going to be no right or wrong strategy. People just have to figure it out for themselves. But
Very much so.
this is how we help. We help you with the tools and with the techniques, and we help you wade through all the bullshit that's out there and really give you phenomenal tools to be able to transcend and break through the barriers that are holding you back.
Yes. And if I may, there's something about like I like to connect the dots for people. It's like a puzzle piece. So that's another thing that comes up like when you work with me, I help you connect the dots. And then as you get stronger and wiser and grow, you connect your own dots. You make sense of things. You make peace within yourself. And it's magic and it's brilliant and it's
It's like
phenomenal.
finding the breadcrumbs. I'll help you blow shit up and make quantum leaps.
Yes.
But I do, like, honestly, the work that I do is quite explosive, and it's for people who really want exponential growth in condensed time.
You've helped me in certain times, right? And it's game changer, you
Yeah.
know? So, yes, people, work with us. We are fun.
We are fun.
We
And
are
if you want, we
fun.
can even have a session together.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes,
We should
yeah.
actually do a group sessions, you know that. We should do a weekly group healing where people can join us on donation basis.
I like that idea. Yeah, because
But
it's really fun working with you and then like how you do things, what you're picking up on, how I do things, what I'm picking up on. Because like we kind of do the same thing, but we have different parts of our training and different niches. I don't know the
niches,
word.
yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just really interesting to get like a broader scope on things for the individual. And if I was just a newbie coming up in this whole awakening and energetics, I would be like, I want these two badasses helping me out. Like
We should
I
do
would,
that.
yeah.
We should definitely do that. Okay, stay tuned
Okay.
because we will let you know when our first group healing is going to be, because it is going to happen. Me and Ash are going to talk about this now. Um, so have a wonderful evening until the next episode.
Really well. Enjoy your day.
Namaste.
Okay.